So anyway, there was a Powerpuff Girls script that got leaked online.
Yeah, and this dialogue exchange we just had was basically the whole thing.
So
uncomfortable and too much sex.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know much about the whole story that happened. I have the screenshots of the script that I want to go through. But do you know much about like the backstory for it?
I know that basically the idea is Powerpuff Girls was a famous show back in like the 80s and shit, in the early 2000s. Got rebooted. People didn't like it. And so the CW looked at it and thought, or whoever the company is that's making the movie looked at it and thought, the CW
it was
did
definitely
something.
the CW.
I'm a weirdo.
It probably was. They looked at what the CW did with Riverdale and thought, a lot of teenagers
you don't know the
like
highs
that.
and lows of high school football, poor kid.
Yeah, basically. And so what they decided to do was, let's do a gritty reboot of a show about 3-year-olds with superpowers. So they aged them all up, and it's terrible.
So I says to him, you haven't known the triumphs and defeats, the epic highs and lows of high school football.
I don't know what that's from, but I know it's
it's
CW
from Riverdale
thing. Was it? That's the thing.
Show that's based on the Archie comics.
You see, that's the thing though, Alex. I wouldn't know because I have taste in shows.
Hey, I've never watched it. I've only seen people make fun of it.
Good point. I refuse to look at it because I love the Archie comics, because the Archie comics are the same comics where like one issue would be about like, oh, Monica dumped me, I'm sad, and then there'll be a happy ending at the end of it. And the next issue is Archie versus the Predator. And it's just...
We've talked about this before, and yes, I will say this again. I love that, and I want more of it. I want that to be transferred to movies based on comics. Movies based on comics need to be as insane and crazy and full of crossovers as the comics that they are based on are.
You have no idea. I've told you about Judge Dredd before, right?
So anyway, the Powerpuff Girls script got leaked.
Yeah, sorry. I want Judge Dredd to fight the Powerpuff Girls.
So I want to go through some of these screenshots with you.
Yes, let's go.
Of the leaked script. I'll play the part of Bubbles. You can be Buttercup.
All right, I can do that.
Blossom's fine. I saw on her Insta that she has a boyfriend. I saw on her LinkedIn that she got promoted. And I saw on Facebook that she still talks to Grandpa despite their political differences.
Coming back here is probably triggering for her.
Why? Because she's the one who killed Mojo? I mean, moveon.org.
The implications that one of them murdered the main villain, Mojo Jojo.
I also heard...
And it's just such a passing line to them.
I also heard that Mojo and Jojo are two separate characters in this version.
What? No, Mojo Jojo is the guy.
Mojo Jojo
He's the monkey
is
man.
I am well aware of that, but in this particular reboot / adaptation, whatever you want to call it, from what I remember hearing, it is two separate individuals. I think it's like a guy and a monkey. Anyway, next part of the script.
What? Sorry, I'm just so lost on that part. All right, next part. Bubbles. Oh no, wait, Bloss, wake up or we'll leak your nudes everywhere. Off Bubbles' confusion. That worked on you once. These are characters that the last time anyone saw them, they were 3 years old.
Yep. I'll read the Bubbles line. Look, we loved being Powerpuff Girls, but sometimes we wanted to be other things too. Like in Dirty Dancing, Baby wanted to join the Peace Corps, but she also wanted to be a fancy slut, and her dad didn't get it.
Drake, emotional. Jerry Orbach was doing his best to understand.
Interior Powerpuff Girls home, hallway / Buttercup's room, day. Blossom heads upstairs where bumping sound continues from Buttercup's room, then abruptly stops. Blossom opens the door and finds Buttercup in bed with Macy, the woman she eyed at the bar the night before. They just quotes, finished. And this is Blossom. Oh God, I'm sorry.
It's fine, to Macy. We're done, right, Macy? I'd say 6 times is enough.
And then Blossom says, aren't we here to investigate? I think this is a different part
This
of
is a
the
different
script.
thing.
This is a different time and place.
I'm here to pick up bi-curious townies. You're here to avoid Drake. Bubbles is here to investigate. But she forgot Butch? I don't know why I don't know how to say Butch. Hates her. Luckily, we're dealing with another hate boner, so alcohol helps. These were 3-year-old children with superpowers.
Blossom, why do you know so much about hate boners?
Life is one big hate boner.
So anyway, yeah, it's the Powerpuff Girls, but they fuck.
It's the Powerpuff Girls, except they're all depressed teenagers, and one of them's an alcoholic.
Not even teenagers. Like it reads as like 20-somethings.
Oh, so they're all just doomers.
Basically.
The Powerpuff Girls, but they followed my life advice.
The Powerpuff Girls, but they inherited a fundamentally broken economy.
Oh my god. Damn.
So yeah, like, is that the way that people think young people talk? That is my question.
That's how old people think we talk. It's all about sex and hate boners.
Well, like when Bubbles says, I mean, moveon.org, no one has done that thing where it's like in like Dr. Evil, like www.sh.com. Like no one has done that unironically since 1998. No one has done that for the past 25 years. How old are these writers?
Too fucking old. You remember that Wendy's commercial? It's like the memer.
Oh God.
It's them. It's the CW.
It's using
the guys that took Archie and turned it into a weird murder mystery. When all you had to do was just have the predator
triumphs,
there.
the highs and lows of high school football. Person that had to drop out in the 4th grade because, you know, he was poor. You don't know what it's like to do extracurricular activities.
I just don't get why they did it like that.
I don't know.
It's so weird. You look at Riverdale, it's like, Archie, is that you? And it's like, it's like a thing monster now.
Yeah, I
like
want to know who wrote this, and I want to know who the target audience is. I want to know who this was written by and who it was written for.
The target audience will most likely be 13-year-olds who are edgy and also horny and have no idea what to do with that.
I guess. I don't know. Like, it
like
seems
that's why Riverdale is a weird murder mystery and everyone is like inexplicably hot or handsome. It's gonna be the same thing with this one. It is for people who have no idea what's going on in their life right now because puberty has happened and it's a very bizarre time and they're all going to make some horrible, horrible mistakes, just like the CW.
Okay, so you know how like BoJack Horseman gets a little like depressing at times?
Yeah.
I feel like this show, if it is made, will be like that, but not on purpose. It won't be like an artistic direction or anything. It won't be like a commentary on like, you know, living in a society or whatever. It's just gonna be that bad.
There's gonna be such a dystopian slap to the face.
Like this show feels like something that would play in BoJack Horseman.
Like as a side joke too. It'd be like a passing comment joke. Like
this feels like
hey,
a South Park or like a Family Guy cutaway.
No, it's definitely more like a BoJack Horseman joke because it's depressing to think about, and half of their jokes are just depressing to think about.